All right, so this is going to be a review of House Party 2023. I think it came out in January of this year, and it shows. it's. I'll say how I feel about it completely in a second, but this is not a good movie. It's actually the worst movie I've seen this year, at least when it comes to movies that have come out this year. It's directed by Calmatic. From what I know of, he's only directed music videos. So yeah, take that whatever way you like. But the story, which isn't good, it's actually really dumb, doesn't make much sense, is that Kevin, played by Jacob Lattimore, and Damon, played by Tosin Cole, they're struggling financially. They're promoters, but they're not really making any money doing that. Kevin also makes beats, but that's not going anywhere. And Kevin needs to put his daughter, I believe it was through preschool or something like that, or his baby mama will get full custody and he doesn't want that, and things like that. So they're struggling. They're supposed to promote this other party, but they end up getting taken off of that because Damon does something stupid. So they're at their cleaning service job because they clean houses for a living, and they're fired from that job, but not right away. They get to still go to the next house and clean that house, and then they'll be fired because they were caught on camera being irresponsible. I think they were smoking weed or something. So they go to this next house, and it turns out to be LeBron James' house. So then they decide to throw a party at LeBron James' house and even use his contacts and things like that to get celebrities there. And they'll make enough money while also, really making a name for themselves as promoters. This movie feels thrown out there, just completely thrown out there. It's lazy. The script is terrible, but it's also lazy. It's padded out and things like that. But we'll get to that stuff. Let's start with positives. I did find the villains in this movie, the other people that they were putting on that party with and things like that. They end up stealing LeBron James' ring and things. I thought they were kind of funny. They were too much, but they were kind of funny. One of the guys in the group has this thing where he threatens people, but in really extreme ways. And that gets old because they do it every time it goes back to those characters. But I at least did chuckle at it the first time around.
First, we gonna tie you up, right? And I'm gonna cut your little nappy head off with a rusty machete. Whoa. Yeah. Then I'm gonna sew your booty hole up. And I'm gonna take some Mexican candy, the spicy kind, and I'm gonna shove it down your throat hole till you nice and plump. And then I'm gonna beat your ass like a piñata.
There's also Kid Cudi in this movie, and I've seen him in other movies. He's not very good in those other ones I've seen him in, but he's actually really good here. He's really weird and kind of cryptic with every line that he says. He wrote a poem for LeBron James, but it's only for his eyes. And they even go on this side quest, pretty much, that shouldn't even be in this movie. This movie's already padded to hell, where they have to go to the Illuminati so they can get a new copy of LeBron James' ring and things like that. Doesn't need to be there, but I did think that was the most creative part of the movie, and I did like Kid Cudi. I thought he was funny. And then also there was this part, of course, it's the obligatory callback to the original house party. Kid and Play even show up at a certain point, things like that. But there's this one point where they're dancing at the party, and they start doing the Kid and Play dance and stuff like that. It's Kevin and Damon. And then there's Venus, who's the love interest, who I actually kind of liked in the movie. I thought she had a lot of chemistry with Kevin. But yeah, it's those two and Venus. And then Tinashe shows up, and she starts dancing too. And I think it was This Is How We Do It, I think was the song that was playing. And I think it was the funnest part of the movie. So that's all I can really say for positives, right? The movie's not very fun. It feels overly long, even though it's only an hour and 40, I think. And honestly, there's so much padding in this thing, like I said, with the Illuminati and stuff like that, that if you took out the meaningless padding in it, I don't think it would be an hour and a half. I don't think it would be theatrical length at all. Like, I thought the movie was ending even before the Illuminati thing happened, right? So there's still a lot more going on by that point. But let's talk about the writing in this, because I think that's the main issue, that it just kind of feels like we just free-handed whatever the fuck and got celebrities in this thing. So let's start off with, I guess some things that are a little bit smaller. So these two are very obviously irresponsible, right? You caught them on camera doing these things, so it's not even like it's just an allegation. You caught them on camera. But instead of firing them right away, like I said, we'll let them go to the next house, even though the next house is LeBron James' house, which is another thing that doesn't make sense. because for whatever reason, they don't know that it's LeBron James' house. And we get a full scene of them walking through not knowing it's LeBron James' house, which already doesn't make sense when they go in. I mean, the dude has a hologram in his trophy room that just gives him compliments, right? Even in real life, the man goes by fucking King James, right? He's got a bit of an ego. I mean, rightfully so. He's talented. The idea that you would walk into his mansion and not know that it's his mansion is ridiculous. The idea that you would look at pictures on the wall and not a single one of them had LeBron in it, that's ridiculous. I think the only time that there was a picture of LeBron even was in the trophy room. It's like, really? There's no pictures of him in his house? Okay, all right. Well, that's really stupid. All right, we're moving past that. They finally do figure out that it's his house. And then Damon has this point where, because they have to bring up, what about the security cameras? Because LeBron's gone for 2 weeks, and that's why they're able to do this. He's like, what about the security cameras? Apparently, Damon works for Geek Squad. So that's how he's able to turn off, I guess, the security cameras. Okay. and LeBron James is leaving his mansion, very expensive, very nice mansion, for 2 weeks, and I guess he doesn't have a way of checking on his security system. I guess. I mean, stuff like that, like you'd be like, oh, Nigel, you're nitpicking, whatever. You're hating. All right, okay. So they decide to put on this party, right? Obviously, I don't think Kevin should go along with this. He clearly has more sense than Damon does, but he decides to do it. They get other people involved in it. Venus, who's the love interest for Kevin, she's clearly not into it and doesn't want to do it. She doesn't even know that it's LeBron James' house when she first comes in, even though she works at that cleaning business too. Okay, it's really dumb, right? And they even have another person that works at the cleaning business come to the party later on, and even he doesn't know it's LeBron James' house. People, I Googled LeBron James' house while I was watching this. You can very obviously see that what his house is. You can look it up, like, and this man is like ridiculously famous. The idea that people wouldn't already know it's dumb, especially when you work at the cleaning service that cleans his house. It's really stupid. Like, it's really dumb. But whatever. Going past that, Venus at first doesn't want to do this because this is an obviously terrible plan that will end up with them in jail. But she gets to put her feet in the pool for a little bit, so she's cool. That's not even the worst of it, though. They have, I think that was DC Young Fly. He comes in to play the DJ, and he has this whole thing where when he gets high, he thinks he's in another time or something, and it starts causing trouble. It's not funny at all. But they invite him over, right, when he's obviously a problem. And then they have this whole thing where it's like, oh, we're going to clean up before he finds out, things like that, which already doesn't make sense. You have all these people coming over. You have all these celebrities coming over. People are going to post about it. They're going to do that, obviously. And it would get back to LeBron James. Even before the party's even started, they've already started fucking up this mansion. Already, before the party's even started. And the setup of it is already kind of weak anyway, because they're like, oh, well, we need 500 people to come by in order for us to, be able to make the money back, right? And they don't have a set number of how much money they need. They're not really saying how much they actually need to do, which if I knew how much money they exactly wanted or needed, at least that would kind of justify why they're so desperate to get the money by doing this in a way that's obviously not going to work and they're going to end up in jail. But they don't establish that either. But even after that, like, Damon, yeah, he's an idiot, but at a certain point, he becomes a complete idiot to where, like, Kevin should have cut this dude off years ago because he goes out of his way to fuck up the plan. He's driving around in LeBron James' car. He's tailoring LeBron James suits and then wearing them at the party. It is ridiculous. It's like these people, not only is this stupid, it's like these people want to get caught.
Nigga, you got these hoes in here stealing. Have you seen how out of control this party is?
Well, like in the go viral type way. Man, look at all this money we done made, bro. Destiny is good.
Man, the last thing we trying to do is go viral.
Hey, we been going crazy on IG too. Check the feeds.
Well, what is you doing? But we about to get shut the fuck down. We gotta pay for shit.
It would almost be justifiable if the movie was actually fun. It's not, right? They have the neighbor that comes by, and for whatever reason, they actually talk to him at the door, which is really stupid. But the neighbor, the white guy, he has the koala, right? Obviously, there's neighbors all over the place. They could call, they would have called the cops a long time ago, and they deal with the neighbor. The neighbor wasn't going to call the cops. They deal with that in a ridiculous way. It's just not fun. It's just kind of going. It's people standing around and talking or kind of dancing in the background while they're trying to scramble to figure out, oh shit, what do we do? What do we do? And that's it, right? The funnest thing about this is every now and then they'll play a song that's kind of a classic, like This Is How We Do It and stuff like that. Like I like the music they were playing at the party, but other than that, there's nothing really all that interesting going on. There's people getting high and then saying stupid shit. um, there's pointless cameos. It was reminding me of that Entourage movie where people would just kind of pull up and be like, "Hey, I want to be in the movie," and so they just quick wrote them in there and then they really had no point and did nothing. Right? Tinashe at least dances and then offers Venus a job because she's a dancer. Everything turns out perfectly fine for these people. This is fantasy land. Dude shows up. That was the Black Ranger in Power Rangers. There's athletes here. There's rappers. Lil Wayne pops in for a little bit to say one line and leave. I mean, these cameos are so lazy. You could blink and miss Lil Wayne. I think you could blink and miss some of these people. They give one line and then the camera cuts from them and you never see them again. Only a few of them actually have something to do, like Kid Cudi, like I said, and things like that. For the most part, they're just kind of there, right? You got Instagram, people who are famous on Instagram pop up, like Haha Davis, which I think is really funny. It's not funny here. It's very forced. He's just kind of doing his normal shtick, big fella and stuff like that. But it wasn't really funny. Not really. DC Young Fly is not funny in this. It just feels pointless, right? I mean, and so much of it doesn't make sense. You really thought you were going to invite all these celebrities over here? You were going to hit them up as random people. Yeah, I'm a promoter for LeBron James. Come to his party. These people are like close to him. A lot of these people probably would have known he was on the retreat for 2 weeks, right? Or would have asked to speak to him or texted him real quick to see what the hell was going on. Like, it's so ridiculous. So, of course, it's going to end in them potentially going to jail. So, obviously, when, shit goes down at the end, you're like, okay, yeah, go to jail. But then they have this really stupid thing that happens. It's kind of a spoiler, but you can probably see it. LeBron does show up, and it's really dumb what happens with that. I'm not gonna spoil it completely, but LeBron James does show up, and it's really dumb. This is just a bad movie. It's lame. It's just lame. It's not fun at all. I found it annoying, especially the Damon character. And I was like, the script is falling apart. And at the very least, if the movie was fun or funny, I could let it slide. But there are so many cringy jokes in this bitch. It's bad. It's worthless, like I said. And I'm going to give it utter trash. That ending with LeBron was so bad, I almost wanted to give it my lowest rating because it was pretty much insulting. Like, I don't know who wrote this shit, but there's barely a story here. And what story here is just, it's nonsensical. And it's not even a good time to justify it. So there you go. That is House Party 2023. I did not like it. I thought it was terrible. And it might make my worst list by the end of the year. Who knows? But anyway, yeah. Subscribe and we're done.